Now at 10, details about the approval to bring an alcohol treatment center to Pittsburgh. Plus, the Cherokee Nation renews its campaign for representation in Congress. And a Southeast Kansas realtor shares how the housing market has changed with rising interest rates.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The city of Pittsburgh could get a new alcohol treatment center. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. The city agreed to contribute $400,000 to that project. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
Families and Children Together Incorporated are partnering with Crawford County Mental Health to build a new alcohol treatment center in Pittsburgh. Helping one person with recovery also helps the entire community.
It has a ripple effect. One person enters recovery, it affects a family. The family gets better, etc. It rolls out in the other direction as opposed to the negative direction of addiction.
This treatment center goal is to produce productive citizens for the community.
If you can get a healthier individual that's working, they'll go back in the workplace and be more productive. So there's a lot of payoff in a lot of ways, economically, family structure, family health.
The project costs $6.4 million. They're asking the city of Pittsburgh for the last $400,000 to finally complete the project.
Yes, we're very appreciative of the city of Pittsburgh and look at it as an investment, and we're very grateful for their generosity in supporting the project.
The center will also offer experience opportunity for social work students.
And then also partnering with the Pitt State Psychology Department and the Social Work Department in providing students of interest that want to work in mental health or addiction to do their practicums and internships with us.
Commissioners for the city are excited to see the impact of a new treatment center.
It's a much needed facility in this area, and it's going to bring a lot of jobs here. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to benefit from this facility, and I'm so excited, as well as the fellow commissioners, for them to hit the ground running and start building.
Reporting in Pittsburgh, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
That treatment center is going to be at the intersection of 30th and Michigan Street. The Cherokee Nation is renewing its campaign for representation in Congress, calling on federal legislators to honor a treaty the U.S. government made nearly 200 years ago. In a video released last week, the tribal nation reasserted its demand that Congress seat its delegate in the House of Representatives, a right stipulated by the 1835 Treaty of Echota. Principal Chief Chuck Hoskin Jr. with Cherokee Nation said in the video, quote, "For 2 centuries, Congress has failed to honor that promise. However, the Treaty of New Echota has no expiration date. The obligation to seat a Cherokee Nation delegate is as binding today as it was in 1835, end quote. Hoskins tapped Kimberly Teehee as the nation's official representative to Congress. If Teehee were to be seated, her role would likely be similar to other non-voting members of Congress. Though those members can't vote on the House floor, they can vote in committee, introduce legislation, and engage in debate. A reminder, the voter registration deadline for the November elections is coming up in a few weeks. In Missouri, the deadline is October 12th. The Oklahoma deadline is October 14th. The Kansas deadline is October 18th. And be sure to download the KOAM News app for all your election needs. You can also go to our website for election information at koamnewsnow.com/elections. The website includes resources for all of the 4-state area, such as finding out if you're registered to vote, how to register. Again, koamnewsnow.com/elections. Pittsburgh man has been sentenced for child sex crimes. 41-year-old Rex Mills was arrested in 2021 and charged with 5 counts each for sexual exploitation of a child and internet trading in child pornography. In July, he pleaded no contest, which means he accepts his conviction but does not admit guilt. As part of a plea deal, 9 of the 10 charges were dropped. Mills is now charged with sexual exploitation of a child under the age of 14. No word yet on the sentence, but it could be up to life imprisonment and a maximum fine of $500,000. Let's check in with Doug now for our first look at the weather.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a nice Tuesday for us today. It was a little bit warmer than what we have seen over the past couple days, but overall, It turned out to be nice. We had sunny skies. 86, records 95. We should be topping out at 78 for this time of the year. Clear skies, nothing going on. We're going to see clear skies as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. The entire Central Plains is pretty calm. 66 in Lamar, 70 in Neosho. We're at 68 in Welch. Iola is sitting at about 69 degrees. By morning, into the mid-50s, 61 by 9. By noon, up to 73, a high of 79. So even cooler for us tomorrow. It looks like a fantastic day. Big question is, when are we going to get some rain? We're going to look at that. We'll also take a look at Hurricane Ian as well here in just a bit.
All right, see you then. A local realtor says home sales remain strong despite rising interest rates. Columbus, Kansas realtor Becky McDaniel says a lot of people are looking for homes in the area, with a good amount of people coming from outside the state. She says the situation is becoming more balanced as more homes are now being listed as well. She says houses might stay on the market a little longer, or they're not going to sell above the list price, but a lot of people are still buying because of affordable house prices.
Kansas is number 5 in the cheapest places to buy a home. And I think the median was $151,900 was the price of the home. But of course, in our southeast Kansas, we have homes that, $30,000, they're going to need some work.
Daniel says Kansas is among the 5 cheapest states to buy a house this year. People might change the way they use credit cards as the Federal Reserve raises interest rates. A commercial loan officer from Joplin says as interest rates climb, there might be additional fees. So paying off your credit card balance by the end of the statement would prevent those fees.
I'm no expert as far as being able to tell the future, unfortunately, but I would say we don't feel like rates will go down anytime soon. So just be mindful of that. So if there is an expense that you're looking at, or if there's a purchase that you're looking at, you may, if you can, wait just a little bit or see if you can get by a little bit.
He also says keep in mind the market goes in cycles. Pittsburgh's gifted middle school students participated in STEM activities at Greenbush in Girard. 6th and 7th graders were in the lab learning the difference between animal and plant cells. They looked at their own cheek cells under a microscope. 8th graders went outside to learn engineering design and problem solving. They worked together to cross the ropes course.
They always offer something new and something different. The staff is wonderful, and it's just a great day to be here.
Greenbush was established in 1976 to help schools, communities, and agencies accomplish more by working together, with locations in Girard, Topeka, and Lawrence. To find out more about the classes and workshops Greenbush provides, you can go to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Coming up, we're going to hear from Joplin High School students and teachers on the appropriate use of cell phones in class, plus how a local organization is collecting clothes for children in need. KOAM is always looking to hear from aspiring journalists, so we're continuing a program where we air stories shot, written, and edited by local students. This story comes from Joplin High School. It's likely you have a cell phone on you right now, but do you know when it's appropriate to get it out during school? Jet HD's Alex Carson talks to students and teachers to find the answer.
After a long summer of scrolling, students are back and they brought their phones. But when can they use them in class? Brendan Cooney is an English teacher and is wanting stricter rules on cell phones in class.
Here at JHS this year, teachers are telling students that what we have is a threshold ban. So students may not use their smartphone or their smartwatches or earbuds once they cross the threshold of the classroom.
Mr. Cooney, as well as many other teachers, feel that cell phones have hurt students' academic and social life.
Especially since the pandemic, that the level of addiction to these devices has been greater. I see students sit next to each other and they look at their phones and they don't talk.
Although many teachers are for putting away the phones, some students not so much. Junior Anna Barnhart feels it's been quite inconvenient.
I think all my friends have basically just been kind of irritated by it and just annoyed that when they're finished with their work, they can't get on their phones as much as they would like.
Without unlimited access to their phones, safety is also a concern for students.
I 100% think there are safety concerns because getting in contact with parents is something really important that I think we should be allowed to do, or else I wouldn't feel as protected in this environment.
Putting away the phone is a rude awakening for some, but Cooney has seen firsthand how beneficial unplugging can be.
I asked students last year to participate in a no phone day experiment, and several students commented on how much more social their school experience was on that day.
Both Cooney and Barnhart agree phones can be a distraction, but finding the middle ground is the challenge. Reporting for Jet HD, this is Alex Carson.
Again, our thanks to Joplin High School student Alex Carson for that report. A local organization is collecting clothes for kids in need. Foster Adopt Connect helps to make sure kids in foster care are placed with loving families so they can live their best lives. But while the kids are between homes, they might not always have enough clothes. So tonight, the organization hosted a wine share and sorting night where people could enjoy some wine while organizing the group's clothing closet.
It's great. I've had a lot of help with the coworkers here, even though it's not, their job. I mean, everybody, we're all a team here in Joplin, and so it's really helpful to have them. But it's nice. I mean, it's rewarding working this job, and so helping those in the community, it's just really nice.
Foster Adopt plans to hold a gala next month. Volunteers are always welcome. A local organization is raising money to make a park more accessible. The Carterville, Missouri Park community today hosted a pasta dinner fundraiser. Folks were able to come by, get some pasta from local restaurants, all while helping to improve the town's Comet Park. Officials say they want to add sidewalks to the park's pavilion and to the restrooms.
We want people to be able to use it. We have several people that rent the pavilion, and if they have elderly family members or walkers or anything like that, they're not able to get to the pavilion right now. It's not sidewalked up to it. So our goal is to sidewalk up to it and then sidewalk over to the bathroom.
Officials say any leftover funds will be used for other park improvements. A little bit later, two of the best softball teams in Southwest Missouri duke it out. We're going to have the highlights in sports.
Plus, our temperatures cool down just a little bit. We are going to look at that coming up. Well, it definitely turned out to be another nice day for us today. A little warm, warmer than average. We did warm into the mid 80s during the afternoon. We should be topping out upper 70s. Tomorrow, Thursday, are going to be a little bit closer to where we should be for this time of the year. Clear skies, nice shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course, Indigo, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Check that out. We haven't even had a half an inch of rain the entire month. It's almost October, so we need some rain. We don't have any rain chances in the forecast over the next few days. Next week, those chances will start to go up just a little bit. But look at our highs, lower 80s in Missouri, Arkansas, mid to upper 80s once you got out across Oklahoma and southeastern Kansas. Now we're cooling down, 64 in Monette, Bonita at 66, Chanute sitting at 68, in Joplin, 7th and Rangeline 68, easterly winds are light, humidity is at 43%, but clear skies, nothing going on here. The entire Central Plains, pretty quiet. In fact, if we go west, no big storm systems. That's our weather as we go through the next, several days. Of course, big national story. Here's Ian. He was on top of Cuba this morning. So now he's out across very shallow, very warm waters, just passing by Key West. So Key West has taken a very hard hit over the past, 6 or 7 hours. The eye wall's intensifying. So as it gets closer to the coast and it makes landfall mid to late afternoon into the early evening hours tomorrow, it's going to be a very intense hurricane. 120 mile per hour winds makes it a Cat 3. Of course, the higher the winds, the higher the category. So as it strengthens, should most likely go to a Category 4 hurricane. Here's 7:30 in the morning. You can see here's Fort Myers, here's Tampa. Should make landfall tomorrow late afternoon into the evening as a strong Category 3 or Category 4 hurricane. So this is causing a lot of issues with storm surge in the southern half of Florida, and that's what they're going to see as they deal with this over the next couple days. And then by Friday, the storm itself is going to be gone. But back here at home, not much. It's pretty calm. We're going to drop off tonight, mid-50s for overnight lows. Let's go through the morning hours. I'll stop at the noon hour. You can see most of us lower 70s at this point in time. We'll go into the afternoon. Here's 4:30 p.m., 75 Nevada, 77 in Carthage, Pineville at about 80, Parson 77, Veneta at about 82 degrees. So here's your day planner. Clear skies all day, 56 at 7, 73 by noon, 77 by 5. High temp, very comfortable at about 79 degrees. A little cooler air is working in for us tomorrow, so overnight lows tomorrow night are going to be dropping back into the upper 40s. So it's going to be kind of chilly, and then we'll warm back into the mid 70s once again by Thursday afternoon. 79 tomorrow, 48 tomorrow night. That's chilly. 78 Thursday, 52 Friday morning. We kind of slowly inch up into low to mid 80s by the time we head into early next week. But again, the next chance for rain is Tuesday. That's 7 days away. We're going to continue with the dry weather.
And even then, you're talking about only a chance, not exactly a likelihood.
Yeah, it doesn't look too widespread right now.
Thanks, Chuck. Local utility electric line crews from Missouri and Arkansas are heading to Florida to help in the aftermath of Hurricane Ian. Line worker crews from 13 utilities are traveling to Orlando, where they're going to be dispatched to Florida municipal utilities that need electric restoration after the storm passes. The group was organized by the Missouri Public Utility Alliance. The city of Carthage sent 6 electric linesmen. Jacob here now with sports. Big opportunity tonight for the St. Louis Cardinals.
The Cards have a chance to clinch a division title tonight against the Brewers. We're going to talk about that. Plus, 2 of the best high school softball teams in Southwest Missouri meet tonight in Joplin. Those highlights and more next. Well, 2 of the best softball teams in Southwest Missouri meet this afternoon in Joplin. The Joplin Eagles hit the field today at home against Neosho. And Neosho enters the day at 17-4, while Joplin is 20-7. Wildcats on the board first. Abby Carpenter sharp to third. Gets into foul territory there. Here comes Malin Garrett around third. Neosho goes up 4-0 after the first. A second inning, Jill McDaniel settles in out there in the circle. Gets a pair of strikeouts, including that one there to get out of the inning. Stays 4-0 Neosho. The bottom 3, Eagles threatening. Got runners on the corners, but look at Malin Garrett over there at first. Snags the liner, tags the bag for the double play. That ends the inning. Joplin rallies late, but Neosho hangs on, winning a good one, 9-8. The Kansas City Chiefs suffered their first loss of the season on Sunday. The Chiefs fell to the Colts 20-17 to slip to 2-1 on the season. Now this week, Kansas City's back in prime time. The Chiefs will face Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Sunday night. And not a lot went right for Kansas City against the Colts last week. They rushed for just 58 yards. Patrick Mahomes threw his first pick of the season. It was also not a great day for rookie wideout Sky Moore, whose early fumble on a punt return pretty much gave the Colts a free 7 points to begin the game.
Well, Sky's a competitive kid, and he's young. And so some of the things that happened yesterday happened with some young guys, and you've got to I've said that from the get-go. You're going to have a hiccup here or there. You got to get back on the horse, Herbie, and to learn. And he did that. He got back on and did a couple good things in there. So, but he'll be better for it down the road.
Kansas City Royals played their final home game of the season last night, beating the Mariners 13-12. And the Royals have 9 games left on their schedule, all of them on the road. Now it begins with a 3-game series against the Tigers. Game 1 tonight, Hunter Dozier, 2-run homer in the second. Kansas City jumps out to a 2-0 lead. Top of 4 now, Nate Eaton up. Hits one off Joey Wentz. That'll score Michael Taylor. Eaton safely in there for the triple. It's 3-0 Royals. But here come the Tigers. Bottom of the 8th, Harold Castro singles. 2 score on that. Tigers tied at 3, and we go to extras. On the 10th here, it's Castro again. Walk-off RBI single right up the middle, and that's it. Tigers take game 1 from the Royals 4-3. In the National League, the St. Louis Cardinals open a series against the Milwaukee Brewers this evening. Now, with a win, the Cards clinch the NL Central title and earn their spot in the postseason. And that's just what they did tonight. Final score 6-2 St. Louis. Paul Goldschmidt goes 2 for 4 with a double and a pair of RBIs. So the Cardinals are NL Central champs, and of course that means they have clinched their spot in the playoffs. Once again, it seems like it's just a yearly thing. Cardinals in the playoffs, that's just what happens.
Yeah, you pretty much pencil them in during spring training. I think,
for sure.
Playoffs. We'll be right back. In the U.S. Army from 2001 to 2004. His hometown, Neosho, Missouri, and we're proud to salute Staff Sergeant Todd Lehar, a 4-state hero. You're looking at the world's very first all-electric passenger plane. Its name is Alice. Took its first successful flight this morning. The zero-emission aircraft traveled at an altitude of 3,500 feet for 8 minutes. With 30 minutes of charging, it can fly for an hour at 287 miles per hour. In comparison, the Boeing 737 flies at 588 miles per hour. Eviation has 3 different versions of Alice, a commuter, executive, and cargo plane. The company hopes to have it in the hands of customers by 2027. That's not far away.
Oh, how would you like to be that pilot? Hey, will you test this out? We think it's going to work. We're not 100% sure.
There's always a first for all of these things.
True.
Yeah, and apparently this one went okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the weather looking dry.
Yeah, it looks like September is going to go down in the top 5 driest Septembers of all time. So we need some rain. No rain really in the forecast. Pretty comfortable temps.
Final sports note.
We told you the St. Louis Cardinals won their division, earned their spot in the playoffs. 7th time in the last 10 years that the Cards have made the playoffs, so pretty consistent.
Good for them. Thanks for joining us. Morning show starts at 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.